All right, we're alive. Shalom to the nation of Israel, the hopeful elect. Okay, we're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone who rule well, and has taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are also pushing this word, and sincere one-third that may listen. So today's lesson is going to be about, a couple things, a couple topics, but they all align to with each other. And as you can see, grace, mercy, famine of the word, and seeking the Lord while he may be found. And these all align with each other. Now, I did put it in a specific way that way because I was meditating on this grace period that we're in right now and how everything we do in faith, in truth and in faith in Yahweh Hashem Shai will determine the mercy when all hell breaks loose, right? Because when the famine of word happens, this truth is not going to be out there anymore. So now it's all about hoping for the Lord's mercy, right? Hopefully that the Most High remembers us, Lord of the hopeful elect, in the time of his in the time of calamity, in the destruction that he's getting ready to bring to this wicked kingdom. So, as far as going into famine of the word, there's this bill. I want to open up with that bill, and it was just passed a couple days ago. C11 bill, which I got an article here, Global News. I'm just going to quickly read a couple paragraphs, just explain what the bill is and what it's all about. So it says liberal government online streaming bill heads to Senate after third House reading. It says the liberal government's online streaming bill, which has been the subject of fierce debate among members of parliament, is now heading to the Senate. Bill C11 passed third reading in the House of Commons with a vote of 208 to 117. Right? It says the bill would update the Broadcasting Act and bring streaming platforms such as Netflix and Amazon Prime within a regulatory regime. It would also apply to platforms including YouTube and Spotify and make them promote Canadian music artists by law. So basically, with this bill being passed, if it's not Canadian news, it's going to be canceled out, X'd out, right? And it really, when it goes on, it talks about hate speech, right? All the different hate whatever speeches they want to call them, and they're really targeting the truth. All the information that's coming out on the YouTube, right, is too much for these devils, and that's why they want to get rid of it. But it's also part of prophecy. So let's open up with Amos chapter 8. And let me start at 7.
I'll read for you, bro.
Okay, come on. The water. Oh, the brother brought it up here too.
Amos chapter 8. All right, so I'm there.
Okay.
This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, face Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh
You
Shai.
can start at 7.
Amos chapter 8, verse 7. The Lord has sworn by the excellency of Jacob.
Right.
Surely I will never forget any of their works.
Right. And when the excellency of Jacob boils down to the elect of Israel, the remnant. That's why I said I'll never forget their works, right? Which is what? Bringing out, prophesying against these wicked kingdom, right? Which goes into the mercy. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Shall not the land tremble for this,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone mourn that dwelleth therein?
Right.
And it shall rise up wholly as a flood,
Mm-hmm.
and it shall be cast out and drowned, as by the flood of Egypt.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
it's gonna. It's good. It's that flood really is. It goes into the evil time we're coming into. And you know how Egypt was overthrown by many plagues, right? You had the frogs, you had the death of the firstborn children, right? The Most High is bringing more than just 12 plagues to this wicked kingdom. Go ahead, brother.
verse 9, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day,
Right. Go ahead.
and I will turn your feasts into mourning,
Right.
and all your songs into lamentations,
Right.
and I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins,
Right.
and baldness upon every head,
Mm-hmm.
and I will make it as the morning of the only sun,
Right.
and the end thereof as a bitter day.
So, that's that's it, man. It's gonna be the Most High is looking to bring all types of death and destruction, man. Like when you see roadkill, that's what you're gonna see. When you see roadkill and you see those animals, that's what the kind of bodies you're gonna see on the streets. All right, it's gonna get bad, man. Now, the Most High, while all this is brewing up, right, so-called behind the scenes, the Most High has his hand being stretched out, right? So that's that grace period, right? A time to pay a debt, in simple terms, right? Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 11, behold, the days come, says Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh.
Yeah, which is very important, man. Because what do these words do? They give you insight on what's going to happen. They give you understanding of the multiple things that are happening in the world. So when you don't get that understanding and you're caught up in the fire, you're going to be bugging out. People are going to be bugging out, right? So that's it's mercy to get this truth right now. It's a mercy. It's a merciful. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. So basically, if you're there idling, right, which doing nothing, time's gonna pass you by, and this has been week in, week out on the streets, as was commanded, to go out and preach this word, right? On the YouTube, right? Uploading videos. So you being slothful, right? Just wasting your time away, it's gonna pass you by, right?
Yeah.
And you shall suffer hunger. But as the Bible says, not a hunger for bread, a hunger and a thirst for hearing this word, which is more important because the people who are rich in this world, all this affluence, that won't save them. The saving come through the mercy, as you mentioned earlier, brother, right? The grace of Yahweh Shem Shai of allowing you to have ears to hear this, understand it,
right?
And do the works. So have faith that what we're saying is true, and to put it in concert with the work. Because faith without works is dead.
Right.
Right.
Gone.
So back in Amos 9, verse 12.
Yeah, go to 13.
Gone. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and shall not find it.
Right. And you know why they're gonna seek the word? Because when all hell breaks loose, they're gonna remember the prophets out there on the corner speaking of this before it happened. And that's the power of prophecy, man. That's the power of prophecy. So it's gonna get them to be like, oh yo, these guys talked about this. We gotta go find those guys. We gotta see, you know, what should we do next? But they won't find us. The elect are gonna be hidden.
Verse 13.
Precept.
In
Yeah, this needs to be established. This scripture can come out now. I just wanted to share this because this is Second Corinthians, because within that grace period, we know that this is a gift, and we know that mercy is really Yahweh Shai, and it breaks it down this way. I'll just go to the quickly to the word. Okay. So grace, right, is freely extending oneself to show favor or kindness, and from the Father to the Son and on down. That's what this is about. Real peace, right? But more importantly, this grace is a gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the mercy again describes the Father's character, the Son's character, and on down, all those that are with him, and that gift. So it says mercy is pity, compassion, and kindness toward toward one another, really. Okay, I can say it that way. And Corinthians put it this way. Well, let me just get there. 12 and 9. It says, one second. It's gonna be like okay.
Hey, Shalom for the comment board. Shalom.
Okay. Oh, all right. First, so First Timothy, I'll give you that one first because there's many others, but I was looking at this one going back and forth. It says, "But I've received mercy for this reason, that in me, as the foremost, a Mashiach Yahushua might display his perfect patience as an example to those who were to believe in him for eternal life." And because Zach just went into it a little bit there, touching that. So that's the format. Mercy and grace is for those, for the hopeful elect. Basically, we can say that clearly. Okay, it's for really nobody else, and he's the one that has chosen them on that. And might as well read it now. Might as well bring it out now. Yeah. Okay. So I'm there. 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. It says, "And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." And this is the processing going on with the hopeful elect. "Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities."
Yeah.
"That the power of a Mashiach Yahweh Shai may rest upon me."
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
In
that's
this
that.
harsh time. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say that's the mercy we're looking for. We want the Lord's Yahweh Shem El Shai to rest upon us when all hell really, gets crazy, when things get crazy out here, get real evil out here, right?
Yeah, that
That's
was
it
the
on
point.
that.
Yep. No, that's fine.
Quick precept.
Con.
Brothers, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah.
Shalom to the elect. Hebrews 4 and 16, and it says this: "Let us therefore come boldly onto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need." And that's pretty much just to back up what the brothers are saying. What is upon us is really that time of temptation that is coming close too.
Right.
I was conversing with a brother one day, and we were watching some of the brothers out in Jersey. I used to live out in Jersey, so I have an affinity for brothers out there because I kind of understand the lifestyle out there in Jersey. It's similar to New York, but it's not, right? And so I was watching the brothers out there in Jersey from Men of Valor, And the brother had said something that I carry with me today. He had said that through grace we obtain mercy. Grace is getting something that you don't deserve. And mercy is getting something that you do deserve. Grace is we deserve death. And Yahweh has given us life. And we don't deserve the kingdom, but we're going to enjoy it if we endure to the end. And that is mercy, right? And that speaks to Yahweh Shai and his grace and his mercy. It's I think both are interchangeable. You can't have one without the other. That's pretty much how I felt about that and why I retain it to this day. And may I just spark on it again and say this and move on to Wisdom 3:9 that says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his what? To his saints, and he hath care for his elect. And basically, just in a nutshell, what that says is the Lord has care for those that put their trust in him. And what's that trust is to actually, because how do we know the Lord? How do we understand the Lord? Through his word, right? And so understanding his word is actually sticking to that law, because that is how we understand him, through that law. That is his word. That is what corrects our path. It guides our path. And we're going to need that correction, especially now in the time of temptation that is upon us. And that's it on that.
All right. Any more precepts?
Okay, this finishes.
Oh yeah, Khan.
Okay, so back in Amos chapter 9, chapter 8, verse 13. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst.
Right. That's right.
So that's in a precept call that basically it says in 11 that it won't be a famine of bread and water. It's a famine of hearing the word, and that's what it's going to be likened to. Right? It's going to be hard to come by, and the man of the Lord is going to be taken away, because everybody, when you have a job, you have a time you clock in, a time you punch out. So the Lord is basically saying, you know what? That's it on that. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? You missed the bus. Right?
That's right.
And then that probably go into the five are foolish and the five are wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like someone got the oil and some didn't. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, which that's a good point, because the oil represents the understanding. So if the prophets out there prophesying and teaching, giving out the understanding, you're not, you're being slothful or slack or rebellious, guess what? When destruction comes, you're not going to have mercy. You're not going to find mercy, right? So a little bit more on this, the bill here, right? See Bill C11. It says this is on macleans.ca, and it was posted June 22nd, 2022. Right? On Tuesday, Bill C11, a law that regulates online media for services such as YouTube or Netflix, passed through the Senate, leaving YouTubers and other content creators in Canada increasingly worried that the bill threatens the way content creators earn a living by affecting visibility and potentially limiting video views. Referred to as the Online Streaming Act, Bill C11 intends to highlight and promote Canadian content in the world of streaming, and would put online content under jurisdiction of the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission. This would require streaming platforms to showcase Canadian content more than they currently do. So, they're basically trying to. They're basically trying to choke out the truth, right? But again, we already read that it's prophecy that they're going to do that, right? That they were going to do that. So, let me get this precept here. This is Psalms. Psalms 37 and 30. It says, "The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment." Right? And that's what the prophets are prophesying, is judgment. there's great judgment that's going to befall this kingdom, right? Like that's never seen before on the earth, man. Right? So people right now, a lot of you Israelites are this is what bread and circus that's happening. People are caught up in the NBA finals that just happened a couple days ago. There's a couple new albums that are coming out. There's these events and parades and festivals that are happening, and it's all in the summer when people want to be out and living life and doing and having fun, being in mirth, which puts us into that scripture, that prophecy of what? Peace and safety, peace and safety.
And at the same time, remember, these people are getting poisoned, man. Because they gave on the last 2 hot days, they gave a warning for the air quality. They said it's highly toxic. And then today you just had a 5G tower that caught fire on the highway. Right, and that those towers, when you see them around, they're basically, it's like a microwave, man. Right, it's cooking you people, right?
No mercy.
That's right. There's a couple precepts here in the comment board here. I read a couple of them. Hopeful elect for the elect. 2 Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. Right, and that's right. They're not slack. Another one, Matthew 10:34. Think not that I have come to send peace on the earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. Right, and that's talking about Yahushua. Right, Yahushua is coming for destruction, to take down rulership from these primarily Esau, Edom, but all these other nations, these other kings of the world. Jeremiah. Oh, Salaki. Yeah, Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. That knowledge goes back to the scriptures. They don't understand. They reject the scriptures. They reject the knowledge of the Heavenly Father, right? Because
they reject the true mercy and grace. That's what's really going on. That's going on. Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
This is 2 Ezra 5:8. It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. So we're living in these times.
Yeah.
Right? Verse 9, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. We're about to head into that time. Because they're going to destroy themselves for what? Primarily lack of bread. Right? And then it says, then this is the point. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth. So these people are going to be looking for the truth, right?
Right. That's right.
And it's going to be hid because, first of all, whether we have the internet shut down literally or an EMP that shuts off the grid, it's going to happen, right? That was a point.
I got a quick precept. Psalm 64:6, and it says this: they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. And the reason why I brought that out is because it's just to show how intricate, and again, at the same time, this is Yahweh putting everything in forth. It's of his will. But in the same token, he has blessed Esau to come so intricate now and come with the C11 bill. For those of you in Canada, then you'll know about Maple, which is similar to the C11 bill, but it spoke to music. You had to have music, the artists, the producers, and the lyrics, all Canadian content. And it was a mandate pretty much for the music industry here. And so you can see it's just him backing off now and kind of making it legitimate in order to do this, as if it's just a natural progression and a natural transition into the C11 bill. But it's more deeper than that. It's way more deeper than that. He's been planning this for a long time.
That's right. I got this. This is James chapter 2 verse 13. It says, For he shall have judgment without mercy, that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment. Right? So basically, it's important, man. Like, your focus should be on obtaining mercy, on hoping that the Heavenly Father gives you the sure mercies of David. Right? Because, again, man, the destruction the Heavenly Father is bringing, the scriptures say that even the righteous, right, being the elect, are going to be scarcely saved. You know? So you have to understand, these are the men that saw this coming before it was coming. Right? But the scripture said that we prophesy in part. So they, even with their imaginations, they couldn't even come close to what the Most High is actually bringing. So that mercy is going to be, that destruction is going to be great, man, and horrific and horrifying. That was it on that one. Khan, go ahead.
This is Psalms 119, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. And I brought it up. The first part is basically the Lord's going to remove his words, and one of the words are these precepts, man. So the Lord doesn't want this understanding to go forth, which is why it's the Lord implementing this bill, because all the Lord's work. This C11 is prophecy, man.
That's
and
right.
Now we can understanding, right, through the scriptures, who's manipulating, who's the puppeteer of all this maneuvering throughout this earth, right? It's always the Lord's, man. So Sirach 1 and 24 reads, he will hide his words for a time. All right. So for a time, the Lord's word is going to be retracted, right? And won't be so free, because a Negro because it doesn't cost, it doesn't have a brand name on it, right? He sees it as not worth anything,
right?
You know what I mean? We're saying it's the Lord's, and for now he doesn't see it. He's like, how is it going to benefit me? I gotta get my paper, man. All he wants to do is be on the grind, and got all these brand name, not knowing that this is what is going to save his soul. He thinks about getting a job and getting a contract, right? When Esau is the one setting up for it's a trap. It's a trap, right? It's a snare. And here we are piping onto them. So the Lord says what? He will hide his words for a time. Okay? But the thing's always going to be here, man. Because right now we're casting these pearls to swine. The Lord is likening them to swines, man.
Yeah, well, basically, when the internet shuts down, we're headed to a very dark time.
Right.
So that means the Lord deems it not necessary for the unicorn to be working. Because you see brothers all across the four corners of the earth.
Con.
So as the scripture said, which shall hide itself. So you people talked all that shit for all those years. Well, now we're gonna, recede.
God, that's right.
And then you guys work it out.
Yep.
Yeah. Gross darkness. That will be gross darkness. Right now it's dark.
That's right.
It's dark, but that will be gross darkness. What the brother Elder just described. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Definitely gross darkness, because it's not going to stop there. It's just going to be a layer of things. Yeah, you're going to get the famine of the word, the internet going out. But what about these brownouts and these blackouts that they're planning as well? That is sure to come after, if not simultaneously, right? Yeah. It's just going to be one after the other. That's going to be some gross darkness.
Well, it's going to be the spiritual light that's going to go out first, and then the lights are really going to go out.
Right.
And then, your fridge is going to go out, and no more food, and that's it.
Yeah.
I got this. This is First John. No, not First John. Just Saint John 9. Oh, okay. Hey, Shalom.
Yeah, Shalom. Y'all Bashem Hashem Barakatah.
Yeah, how about Shem Shabbat?
Wow.
Saint John chapter 9, verse 4. And it says, I must work the works of him that sent me. Right? It's Yahweh Shai speaking. While it is day, the night cometh when no man can work. Right? And that work is pertaining to what? This work that we're doing right now. Pushing this word out, making lessons, teaching the hopeful elect, exhorting the hopeful elect, bringing judgment to his wicked kingdom. And right now we're in the day, but we're getting really close to the night. Right? That was it on that.
I got a precept. I got two. This is quick. Proverbs 10 and 5. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, like we said in the day.
Right.
And then it says, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Pursuant to Matthews 13, it says that harvest is the end of the world.
Right.
Right. So that's when the angels are coming, right? And remember, it says the workers are few, but the harvest, the labor is plenteous, but the workers are few.
Right.
Something like that, right? And then this is Proverbs 20 and 4. It says the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Right? Guys complaining about winter and it's cold, we gotta go on the highways. Right? Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. So a lot of guys are gonna beg in that time, man.
Yeah.
Right? But you didn't plow, you didn't put in the work.
That's right. That's right. God. This is from the comment board. Hopeful elect for the elect. Sirach, or also known as Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7. Make no tarry to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. Right? And that speaks to that slothful spirit, that slothful demon that might jump on brothers from time to time. Right? For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. And there's another precept that talks about falling asleep. It says a little slumber, a little folding of the hands. And every time I hear that precept, I think of like how you actually fall asleep. It starts little. Your head dips a bit. You go in and out, and then all of a sudden, you find yourself laying on the floor, and then you're gone. 8 hours went by. So it's just like in the spiritual sense. It says, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish. So you basically thought that you had it figured out, and you put trust in yourself and in this world. That's that security. Right? But then when the Lord brings the destruction, all that's going to perish. The only way out of here is through Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's the only way out. That's it on that.
Yeah.
In the day of vengeance. Perish in the day of vengeance. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, just quickly, I've got Isaiah 61, because simply put, while this is going on, and while this is happening, in a time of grace and mercy for the hopeful elect. I'm just going to read it real quick. This is Isaiah 61, because the conditions that the elect will be in, and Elder mentioned that as well. It says here, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the afflicted. Right? In lining up with going back there to Timothy's and Corinthians as well. The instruction, bringing this instruction, right, to bring good news to the afflicted. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim the liberty to the captives, and freedom to prisoners, to proclaim the favorable year of the Lord, right, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all who mourn, right. And simply put, I just bring that precept out, those two precepts out, to show us well the conditions of the hopeful elect, the mind frame that they will be in. Simply put.
And that's a very important point about the brokenhearted, because that's the sacrifices of the Lord. The Lord demands a man that's contrite, right? So, because you have guys that come in this and they complain, they're like, "This is hard. I'm depressed and I'm feeling stressed." Well, that's part of the sacrifice, right?
Right.
Quick precept. This is the book of Proverbs 3 and 5, and it reads, "Trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with all thy heart, and lean unto thy own understanding." So we lean into the Heavenly Father, right? Because He's the one that gives us the knowledge and understanding of this truth, right? Verse 6, it reads, "In all thy ways acknowledge Him." So we need to acknowledge the Heavenly Father, and He should direct thy path. He's going to direct our path, especially right now, these hard times that are coming to this place.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
And that goes in directing our path and giving us leaders, right? Because this thing is set up where you have leaders and you have followers, man. It's always been like that, right? In the book of Ezra's, chapter 1, and I started 38. "And now, brothers, behold what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east." And we're those people, right? That's making mention here. Even though everyone came from the east, because this is the new world. Life started in the east, man. All right. This is a new world, but it's speaking of a specific people, right? And it goes into 39. "Unto whom I shall give for leaders," right?
Right.
"Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Osias, Amos, Micah, Joel, Abdias, and Jonas, Nahum, and Habakkuk, Sophonias, Agathus, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also the angels of the Lord." So those are messengers, man. So we are terrestrial messengers.
Yeah.
Bring forth this truth.
Yep.
Okay. So to heck of those Negroes talking about we don't want to be man followers. The Lord set up a setup where we have leaders, man. Right? Yeah. And it doesn't matter what person's age, because say you're in a room and you got a 3-year-old brother, and your father left and say, "Hey, when you see Amath, tell him to make sure you shower at 7." Even though he's 3, that voice comes with authority because his mom says this. So he's 3 years old giving you an order because what? The father gave him the power to say, "Tell him this." So it's just like in this truth, it doesn't have the age thing, right? It's just who the order is coming from, right? So leaders can be older than you, can be younger than you.
Right.
So that's where
because it's spiritual.
It's a spiritual thing.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If I may add on, what I like about this precept that just came out too, if you go through it, you realize that it is the Greek for all the books of the scriptures. And so it goes back to basically what the brother Asher was saying as well, and what I had brought out previous, great precept with the Proverbs 3 and 5. The leaders here is the word. It's the law, statutes, and commandments. It's the scriptures. That's the leader, right? That's the understanding that you're getting. That's how, again, how you know the Lord, how you know the correct way to walk, right? And it's through this word, to his truth.
I got a precept real quick to back up both the brothers, because this is first precept is John 66 and John 6 and 63, and it reads I'll start at 63. It says, "It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life." So, the reason why, backing up what the brother Dawar was saying, like, because Yahushua is containing these scriptures, and Yahushua has men, right? The apostles were his men, and then the apostles established fruit on down, which are also Yahushua's, right? Yes. So that order, that's why the scriptures say, "Ye shall know them by their fruit." Right? Our apostles have 30, all together they have 100+ years in fruit of experience in this truth, right? When you blind them up together. So there's that. And then backing up what Zach said about the angels of the Lord. They're out there and they have their hands on the elect, right? Protecting the elect. This is Second Chronicles 16:9. For the eyes of the Lord Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. So, for the men that are seeking the Lord continually in their heart, which is in their minds, the angels are taking record of them. Because those men, the hopeful elect, Lord willing, that's us, beginning with the apostles on down, we're going to obtain that mercy in that great and dreadful day. Right? So that's it on that one. I got another one if brothers don't got one. This is from the comment board. Hopeful elect for the elect, Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And it cuts off on that point. But that's talking about the missiles. Right? So how you gonna protect yourself from the missiles if you don't have the Lord? Listen,
it also showing favoritism, right? Like,
beautiful. Yeah.
Why don't the pastors expound on that right there? Because right there, the Lord's showing that he's a nationalist, right? He's showing people who fought against Jerusalem, and we know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So why did he say people fought against the whole world? John 3:16 styles. He's saying Jerusalem, man. So again, he's always showing favoritism to one set of people. And that people are the people who are seen as nothing in this kingdom. But the Lord is always on the side of the underdog. We've always been underdog, man, because it was set up to be that way. So I'm saying? And look how deep he says, I'm gonna make their flesh consume like that. Yo, what is that? You know what I mean? Right?
Come on.
That's some serious judgment.
Sure is.
Yeah. Let me finish the precept. I got in the blue letter, Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away. And that begins with the elect fighting against Jerusalem.
Con.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Yep.
What's she doing? She's leaning on the fence. So that's spiritual, man. I always say that's spiritual because, like, you can't be on the fence.
You got to pick a side. You got to pick a side.
I got to go back to what Brother Kazak as well mentioned about favor, because we know that's Yahweh Shai in the fullness, right? Working with the elect, it means he gives them the gift. He gives us the gift, the hopefully elect the gift of grace. And it going back to the simplicity of the word, and we know that it's Yahweh Shai, just like he's mercy as well. It says freely extending oneself to show favor of kindness. And that them burning up on the fence, that's kindness. To hell with this place. Hey, that's what the Lord says, man. It's finished. Yeah. So, but right, and it says it is when a person, this part of it comes to us when a person inclines himself towards someone inferior, right? To bestow him with blessing and protection. Right? And that's why if the elect sees Yahweh Bashem Yahushai first, and then we see his leadership that he sets up in this order on down. Anyway, that's my point on that, brother. Just wanted to bring out the point, favor and kindness.
And it's always towards Yerushalayim.
Beautiful.
Right? The city of peace. and a city is nothing without a citizen. It is just an empty
Mhm.
place. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's talking to I'm the citizen, and we're hopeful that we're those men, the upper echelon
Yeah.
of those men, right?
The magistrate.
Mhm.
Hey, let me finish this up.
Okay, so like a brother.
All good, all good. In the middle of Zechariah 14 and 12, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Go ahead, Ak.
Beautiful.
So this is Second Ezra's chapter 2, verse 17. Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee. So this is going into Jerusalem, right, as a people. Okay? So the Lord is saying he has chosen the mother of the children, and the mother being Israel, man. All right? Saith the Lord, for thy help will I send my servants, Essay, which Isaiah, and Jeremiah, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for these 12 trees laden with diverse fruit. So the 12 trees is dark saying for the 12 tribes, right? And this is what prophecy does. It brings clarity to the unwise, and we're all unwise, okay? But it's a spiritual thing, right? And the spirit is resonating with your spirit. So you say, you know what? This makes sense to me, right? Because the Lord has opened up your mind. But some people can't get it. You know, your cousin, your favorite auntie, she ain't getting it. And you know what? Why isn't she getting it? Because the Lord didn't deal with auntie so and so. Like she's right in your eyes, but in the Lord's eyes, she's not.
Yeah.
Right? Verse 19. And as many fountains flowing with milk and honey, and 7 mighty mountains, whereupon there grow roses and lilies, whereby I will fill thy children with joy. So the Lord is liking this truth unto milk and honey, man. Right? Something good for your soul. To make you what? Whole. Right? Healthy. The word whole and healthy is synonymous. Right? You got Whole Foods. Is it healthy foods? Supposed to be healthy foods, but we know it's not because Esau's the man behind that. You know? So this is what we're doing this truth for. This is what we're here, right? Because we believe the Lord. We believe these sayings, right? You can't be in the truth if you don't believe. If you don't believe,
you get rooted out. You get taken out, man.
I think that's in the book of Psalms. David said, "I believe, therefore I do."
That's right.
That's it.
Right. And
that's why James Slacky. That's why James said, let me show you my faith by my works.
And I believe so. I do is like if you're in this truth and you're not like this is the easiest thing you can do is chime in, right? So if you're not doing your videos on your own, right, and you're not like forget it, man. It'll show that you don't believe.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Because it's the Lord that put a spirit on brothers to say, you know what? Because the apostle said 3, and the brother man says 3 times a week. So if you can't do it 3 times a week, man, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Well, hey, let me get this precept to back you up because that's the spirit you're saying that.
So what the hell are you doing the rest of the time? Go ahead, brother.
The apostle was like, hey.
Yeah, this is from GMS Wisdom and Meekness. He put up Proverbs 1 and 24. But I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. Verse 25. But ye have sat at naught all my counsels. And this is a counsel right now. This is a council that the men of the Lord are having, right? And it's a feast. And if you chime in, you can save your soul, man. You can save your soul. It says, and with none of my reproof. So what comes with the counseling and what comes with
herein lies the point of this thing being precious.
Right.
Everyone is going to chime in, even as blatant and informational, as eloquent as some brothers can speak and articulate this truth. Whoever is not meant to get it, and that's a lot of people, are not going to get it.
That's right.
That's why this thing is precious, man.
Con. And then finishes off to say, I will, verse 26, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When you fear, when your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. While when distress and anguish, and when it says destruction comes in a whirlwind, right? You think of of the chariots of the Lord, right? The so-called UFOs getting in on the action when it comes to destroying this kingdom. But I also like to think of the state of mind you'll be in. Like, when you look at a tornado, a whirlwind, everything is like. So you're gonna be rattle-brained. You're gonna be confused. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna be all types of things, man.
Destruction, man.
That's it.
It's already destruction.
Derision. Derision is the word I was looking for. Derision.
Delusion.
It goes on to say, block it.
Sorry, brother. I was going to just say something because we had this conversation after camp one time about that whirlwind and how it also means the word too. The word going out is a whirlwind for Esau. Don't think he's going through his own little. Don't think he's not going through his own little miniature hell right now. While the men of the Lord are on the highways and byways prophesying his downfall, he is scurrying to try to find ways. Hence the C11 bill that he's brought out.
Right.
So it's a great point there.
Verse 26, I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me.
When shit gets real, that's when Jake wants answers, man.
God.
And notice it said, Brother Muth, that when it comes, is it if it comes?
Right.
I mean,
right. Con. Yeah, surely it shall not tarry.
You won't get a memo that day.
Yeah, or Amber Alert.
Yeah, you don't know.
Well, the Amber Alert is right here, man. Relax.
Con.
That's right.
Finishing off.
The trumpet in Zion.
Con.
That's right.
Finishing off, it says 28. Then shall they call upon me early, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. And really, when the early is just like as soon as you're going through something, you're gonna seek him. But really, at that point, it's too late because the famine of word, the prophets have stopped prophesying. They've stopped being out there, bringing out the truth and the understanding. So really, you're just gonna seek him as soon as the slightest trouble happens to you. You're gonna try to seek the Lord, but the Lord's not gonna hear you. It says, verse 29, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. They would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. And that's a scary place, man, because the fruit of your own way is you're subject and open to any kind of judgment. Like that's like out there, right? But when you're with if you choose the Lord, you have that hedge.
Well, the scriptures say you reap what you sow, right? The scriptures say you reap what you sow, and so if you reap in bad fruit, you're gonna eat some bad fruit, right?
Yep.
That's what he told to Cain, right? He said, if you basically go off, sin lieth at the door.
Right.
If you do wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know that?
Two more verses.
Okay.
Verse 32, it says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. And that's these people are in, Esau is working to keep you people in prosperity so you don't see what's going on. Right? And that's why you're likened to as sheeple, fools, right? The congregation of the dead,
The
right? It goes
masses.
on. The masses, yeah. In verse 33, it says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. That's it.
So contrary to this warning, right, is also admonition, right? And this it's just telling you, man, the Lord's not hiding, playing games with you. He's telling you that, yo, I'm gonna kill you, man. Right?
Yeah.
So this is Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time. And that's what you're talking about, Brother Amaf.
Yeah,
It's speaking about the miseries to come. Right? It's that if they're gonna come is when. And the when is closer than we think. Right? Latter time shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride. And this is Pride Month. And who is the head honcho at the Pride? Some Negro, man. Right? It's some Negro is a spearheading this movement. On before, talking about he's hiring security and it's gonna be so safe and but Lord says misery is gonna come for them walking in great pride, man. Right? Verse 51. But understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee, which is why we're commanded to go in the highways and the hedges, right? To cast this net, right? To use this word as bait, right? And his bait is what? Saying you're an Israelite. You're not a black person, man. I ain't black. Because once you're in the right spirit, that term black should be offensive, man. Man. Now we call him nigga. There's a song like that in the Caribbean, man. We call him that. Black. What the fuck's black, man? I'm Spanish. I'm a language.
Even
the
word nigga, some places in the South, you cannot call another brother of so-called color a nigga. He'll fight you. In some places.
Good. Yeah. Right. Verse 2: For unto you a paradise is open. So the Lord is opening the gates back to where the Garden of Eden, Iadon, man. He's saying to you it's open. So why would you want that? And remember, the Lord is far out. So it says, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. So you see brothers making those GMS those cartoon things and the nice and it looks good. But Lord said that's soft because eyes have not heard and ears have not eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. There's gonna be way more like immense than that. You know what I mean? Right? And it's open paradise and prepared plenteousness and is made ready, and city is builded, and the rest is allowed. That's why God said, "This is not your rest. It's not about third, man. You ain't sleeping nothing, man. Here's some bugged out dream. Things are chasing you. You have dreams like that where things are holding you down and they're chasing your dream. You know what I mean? Nah, man. You're gonna have rest, man. A nice glass of water. You'll probably be able to talk to the birds. A lion.
Hey, man, birds. Like when you go back to certain prophets, Elijah, they were fed by animals.
The raven.
Raven. They were even
and
fed
in this
by
kingdom, Esau had the raven as being an evil bird.
Right.
The blackbird
out in the open. Right.
Good. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. And the root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness as the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and in the end is shewed the treasure of immortality. So this is what the Lord is showing us, man. It's not a carrot being dangled. Like you're actually gonna get this carrot. Like Esau dangled carrots in front of your face. If you do this, you get this. You do this, you get this. You know what I mean? And while he's dangling his carrot, he's undressing you. Because he's a pervert, man. He wanted to play some homosexual games with you. You know what I mean? The Lord is going to give you perfect body, perfect mind, right? Everything that Esau has, that's a snare. It's for you, man. It's to be faithful unto the Lord unto the end.
That's right.
That's it on that, brother.
3% on that.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel. Just what the brother was into Ezekiel 5 and then start 15, and it reads, "So it should be a reproach and a taunt and instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I should execute judgments in thee, in anger and fury, and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, has spoken it." Verse 16, "When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which should be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, I will increase the famine upon you, and I will break your staff of bread." Verse 17, "So I will send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they should be bear thee, and pestilence, and blood should pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, have spoken." So the Lord is telling you what's coming to this place. So there's nothing nice going to be when he comes, because he's saying he's going to be destroying this and beasts. Yep. You know, it doesn't sound nice. It doesn't sound what the Christian church tells you.
That is good all the time.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Because when you read this, you should have a image of what you're reading. Well, this doesn't sound nice to me.
Well, no mercy, no grace there.
Yeah, that was it on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get this. Isaiah 55:6. "Seek ye the Lord Yahweh while he may be found.
Mm-hmm.
Call ye upon him while he is near." And, you know, with this C11 bill passing, it's going to get even harder for the prophets to prophesy, you know. It's going to get more code, more secret. It's already, you know, at a point now where it's code and secret. So it's kind of like, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't kind of thing. You know,
well,
because
it's always been coded, because Paul said in Corinthians, basically, we speak this thing plainly, but it's hidden. You know, not so many words in scripture like that in Corinthians. So it's like in the book of Matthew where the Lord said, you know, we're piping.
Yeah.
Song.
Right.
You know, it's in the open, but everyone just passes by.
Yeah. That's right. Con. Verse 7, it says, "Let the wicked forsake his way." Right? That wicked is talking about an Israelite. "And the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to go into our power, for he will abundantly pardon."
And so, like your brother, that wicked is not speaking of Esau, because he says he only show mercy unto Jacob. So he said he will show mercy upon him. So you got to be from that house of Jacob to what? Have that mercy be bestowed upon you. So it can't be Esau.
That's right. That was it on that. Deuteronomy from the hopeful elect. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. "See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." So you can't get with the destruction. You're not going to get away from the Heavenly Father, man. This is going to be the physical destruction that's going to befall this kingdom. It starts off spiritually. It's spirits, man. It's a spiritual work. How are you going to stop that? How are you going to stop angels from doing what they're created to do? You know,
God, especially for those people that want to flee this place, they want to go back to another country. Listen, one way or another, you're gonna get it. So just don't think because you're living here, you do your wickedness over here, and you want to go back where you're from. You're still gonna get it.
Well, it says great misery shall come upon the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So where you gonna go?
Right? And that's a secret, man. Because for you to be thinking that, it means that you're in a part of the secret. You're in a part of the secret council to know that, hey, it doesn't matter where you go, man. Is the Lord's hand too short? Right? The scripture says, is the Lord's hand too short to touch you anywhere? I'm in Syria.
This is known as the secret place in the book of Ezekiel 8.
God.
Doesn't it say that the eyes of the Lord are brighter than the sun?
Yeah.
So he's going 1,000 years.
A quick precept.
God.
2nd Ezra chapter 10, verse 38.
Yep.
He answered me then and said, hear me, I shall inform thee, being personal, and tell thee wherefore thou art afraid. For the highest will reveal many secret things unto thee. You know what I mean? So the Lord is talking to everybody, man. Right? It's a secret counsel. Right? That's in that.
Con. Yeah. Let me get. No, that's it. That's it. I'll hold it on that precept. Yeah, Con. All right, no, but that's it. No brother's got any lasting precepts or statements. All right, Con. So we're gonna close this lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying and exhorting and uplifting to the hopeful elect. All right, we're gonna close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and espouse this word in truth and sincerity. All right, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are also pushing this word, and sincere one-third that may listen. All right, so we're gonna say abad babal. All right, and Lord willing, until next time, we'll say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.